Welcome to Dog Jobs Australia. My name's Sarah Jones and I'm here at Montpellier Primary School about to meet some dogs with possibly the most adorable profession yet. We're about to meet the story dogs. They're a team of dogs and volunteers who help children gain confidence reading. Let's see how it's done. It's another typical autumn day in Victoria and we've made our way down the Geelong highway to Montpellier Primary School. Here we won't be seeing dogs with their usual outdoor heroics, but rather we'll be looking at a fantastic initiative using our four-legged friends to help children gain confidence reading. So I'm here with Chris Brown, who is the assistant principal here at Montpellier Primary School. And we of course are joined by the lovely Penny. Hi Penny. Penny is one of several story dogs that come and visit Montpellier Primary School. And I believe, Chris, you're responsible for bringing the program to the school.
Well, I saw an article in the local newspaper and it was about story dogs, and Karen, who is looks after them and manages it all, I contacted her and said to her that I was really interested in having this come into our school and what did we need to do.
Yeah.
And so then Karen and I continued to talk to one another and we tried to work out how it would work. And then of course COVID struck.
Right, not the best timing.
No, and so then we had to wait till the start of this year. And so they started about 3 weeks into term one and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, what's the reception been like with the children?
Look, the children down in grade 2, that's where they work with them in grade 2, are just so relaxed and terrific with the dogs. We're in a portable area, so they go out into the middle of the portable area and Penny's out there with Karen, and one child comes out at a time and they've got like a bean bag and the child reads and the dog just sort of lies alongside them. And Karen was telling me that just the other day one child was laying on their tummy, so Penny just went and laid on her tummy alongside him while he read his book, which is lovely.
Isn't it?
It is lovely, yeah.
And what appealed to you about the program?
Well, it appeals to me because, you know, we have children who reading doesn't come very easy for them, and, you know, their parents listen to them read or whatever, but they just need that calming effect, and the dogs seem to be able to just be that distraction for them so that they can actually do some really good quality reading.
Yeah, so for some of the children it's partly an anxiety thing, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, they can get very anxious about reading because perhaps they're not so good at it. So but with the dogs there, they seem to be excelling.
Where were the story dogs when I was in primary school? It just sounds like such a lovely concept, but I wanted to see what some of the students thought about the program. So, time to meet Kenneth and his special furry friend. So, I'm here with Kenneth, and Kenneth, can you tell me who this special dog is?
Wally!
Wally's one of the special reading dogs, isn't he?
Yeah!
And Kenneth, you've been in the reading program since March, is that right?
Like since it started.
Since it started, yeah. So you're kind of the first ones to be involved. And how's it been?
It's been good. I like reading. I like reading with doggies. I love doggies.
So do you ever read to your dogs at home?
I've never tried it.
Well, maybe it's something you can try when you get home. It's a good idea. Because you have 2 dogs, is that right?
Yep.
And what's your plan for when you get older?
Like, I'm gonna get as many dogs as I can because I love doggies.
It's going to be a lot of dogs.
And I can only get up to 4 because I don't want like the whole house covered in like.
You don't want like hundreds and thousands of dogs up to the ceiling. It's not a good plan. What about, so we know that the dogs are good for reading. Do you reckon any other animals would be good for reading? Should we swap out? Should we get a reading cats program going, do you think?
Well, cats will be okay.
Cats will be okay? What about, I know you're a big fan of lizards. What about a reading lizard program?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Do you think there's something special about dogs that makes them really good?
That they can save lives.
They can save lives.
And they're more playful.
Yep. They're really loving as well, aren't
yeah,
they? That
and
helps.
and doggies are special.
They are really special.
They're so cute too.
Well, thanks so much for the chat, Kenneth. Should we go get some books?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on, Wally.
Come on, Wally, this way. Well, based on Kenneth's feedback, it seems like the Story Dogs program is a hit. So it's a long-term program for these children?
Yes, they come once a week, and we're hoping it'll go for quite a period of time.
That's pretty magical, because then the children, I presume, get to build up a bit of a relationship with this dog as well. It must be something that they look forward to doing.
Oh, I'm sure they do, because Penny is so easy. These dogs are trained to do this, and so therefore she's very easy to get to know. She does like her mum a lot.
She does.
But she also is a really loving dog and very gentle and kind. You know,
definitely very, very nice, gentle
and
energy.
soft to touch, really soft to touch too.
And I suppose for a child who's anxious about reading, having a little mate here like this.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think it's a distraction, and I think so therefore they don't think about all of the things in their mind that causes the anxiety, and so that the dog's there and the dog's calm. So I think it's a natural reaction to take the lead from the dog. Which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
So how long have you been here at Montpellier Primary
I've been at
School?
Montpellier here for 22 years.
Wow, okay.
A long time, yeah. And I've seen lots of changes, but this is a very welcome program into the school, and we are totally embracing it and loving it every minute of it.
It's such a new, different way to embrace literacy, really.
Well, I mean, even though they only work with the grade 2s, all of the other children are quite fascinated, but of course they don't have anything to do with the dogs because it's specific to the grade 2 area.
It does seem like it's becoming more and more common, so it's only the program's just come to Geelong, so you must be one of the first schools.
Well, I hope we are. I hope we are.
We're going to let Penny take a break. And speaking of breaks, more dog jobs after this one. It's just so wonderful to see the impact that these adorable dogs are having on the lives of the students here. Now I'm catching up with the regional coordinator of the Story Dogs program, Karen, who's going to tell me a little more about what they do. Well, I'm here with the wonderful Karen and the wonderful Penny. So great to have you.
Hi, thank you.
So you were one of the first people involved in Story Dogs here in Geelong.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to do something with Penny, and I found Story Dogs and decided that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so we joined up, and I became the coordinator for the region.
Oh, right. So that must be a big job.
I have a fantastic team of volunteers, and they make it easy for me.
So how many volunteers and dogs are you working with now?
Well, including myself, we have 13 teams now in Geelong who attend 12 primary schools.
And you just started up recently, right?
Well, we started last year, but last year was a bit of a write-off.
Yeah, we're not counting last year for anything.
No. So officially we started this year, and we have 11 of our teams in schools and 2 that are waiting to start very soon.
Wow, so it's really snowballing. How do you recruit new members?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
And we did have some fantastic media support last year in the local area, so that was great.
That's great. So I understand you're all volunteers and the school doesn't pay for the service either. So how does this wonderful service get funded?
Yes, so we have some great support from the community, and we have some Rotary Lions clubs who sponsor the dogs.
Yeah, I do notice
and
a little
also,
bit of sponsorship here.
Penny's got one there, and some private businesses as well
That's
that sponsor
wonderful.
the dogs.
Yeah, and you said you were thinking about what to do with Penny. Were you considering any other options for her?
Yeah, when she was little, I discovered that she had quite an intuition, and she just seemed to be one of those special. Every dog is special, and everybody has the best dog in the world. But there was something about her, and so I started exploring what programs I could use her in a therapy setting.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a couple of things, and then I found Story Dogs on Facebook, and I thought, oh, this is the one. I like this. It aligns with my own values too. You know, Story Dogs is about helping children to become confident, lifelong readers. And I love to read, and I see the value. It's a fundamental skill we need.
Yeah.
And I thought, this will be great if we can help with that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And you really get to see the results.
And it doesn't take long. It's amazing how some of our volunteers have only done maybe 10 or so sessions this year, and they can already see a change in the children's confidence.
Isn't that incredible?
And the accuracy in terms of their reading just comes naturally. It just comes along. Once they feel confident and they feel like they're in a safe space and they can read to the dog and the dog's not judgmental, then they look forward to coming to the sessions, and sometimes they bring their own books, which is really fun when they do that, because they want to share. So they actually looking forward to do an activity that perhaps they don't really enjoy, but the dog makes them. The dog has this magic. And it just makes them want to do it.
Because I think often with reading children when they're struggling, there's that big barrier there, and the more they struggle, the less they want to connect with books, want to try that skill out.
And they sit and they show the dogs the pictures. And even if we can just engage them by doing that, or talk to the dog about the pictures, we'll talk about the story, it's still engaging them in that reading process. And as I say, then the accuracy comes along with that, but to light that fire and create their desire for their children to actually come and they look forward to their reading day, that's a great thing.
And I understand that the Story Dogs program is usually with grade 2s. Is there any particular reason that that's the focus age group?
That was identified as an ideal time for this extra assistance to come in with the school process. It's hard for teachers to give some one-on-one time. They've got a lot on their plates. So if we can come along and support that process, and as I say, if it's identified that that's the optimum time for us to provide that extra support, then that's why we do grade 2.
And how do you find Penny goes with the sessions?
Oh, she loves it. And the children just love seeing her, but she lies quietly and settles. Sometimes she puts her head on the book.
That's nice.
And we have to say, excuse me, we need to turn the page now. And sometimes they fall asleep. But we just say, oh, she can still hear you. But she does enjoy it, and she gets quite comfortable, and she enjoys the extra attention that she gets as well. So she's excited when we walk down the street to approach the school.
Oh, she recognises the school, and she knows that it's
and they know their vests as well.
So
you put the vest on and they know what that means.
She's working.
And so, it's really heartwarming to see the bond that the children develop with the dogs, and so quickly.
Especially if you're going over the whole term. That's a really long relationship they're building with this dog. So
after school holidays, each child comes in for our sessions. We see them one-on-one. And of course you say to the children, how were the holidays? Did you have fun? And one of mine said, I had a good holiday, but I missed Penny.
Well, who can blame them? You're pretty lovable, aren't you, Pen? Well, Karen, thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I thought I'd steal Penny for a moment and go catch up with another of our little readers, Bonnie. Here you go, Penny. What's this? Here you are. And you got one over here from Bonnie. What do you think makes reading to dogs special?
Because they don't really tell you if you make a word wrong.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Well, Penny can't even read herself, so she's not going to tell you off, is she?
No.
Do you think she likes some of the stories that you read to her? And you've been reading to Penny for since the start of this year? Yeah, that's really nice.
But so when I started reading with Penny is when it first started.
When it first started, so you're one of the first people that got to read to Penny. That must be pretty special. Well, thank you so much, Bonnie. And maybe we should say thank you to Penny, don't you think? Thanks, Penny. Thanks, Penny. All right, let's go. To find out more about Story Dogs, visit storydogs.org.au. Today I'm in the western suburbs of Geelong visiting Montpellier Primary School. Here, a bunch of lovable dogs are helping young students gain confidence while reading. Well, I'm here with Kylie and Ollie from Story Dogs. Kylie, thanks for joining us today. So you've just recently become involved in the program?
I have, yes. Because COVID hit last year, we were unable to start until this year. We've just been doing term 1 and now it's term 2.
And what appealed to you about the program?
Just bringing the joy of reading to children, just to show them that, it's a really great thing to read.
Yeah, because you have a background in education as well yourself?
Yeah, I do.
And Ollie, I understand, is a rescue, is that right?
He is a rescue, yes. We've had Ollie for 4 years now, and very fortunate to adopt him.
So Ollie obviously has a great temperament for this work.
He does, yes,
Yeah.
yes. When we adopted him, the rescue person said that he was suitable for an assistance, being an assistance
great.
dog, and so
And that's because he's obviously so gentle.
yes,
Got really nice, lovely, calm energy.
he does.
But I
At
understand.
times.
Yes, yeah. he's not a super young boy. He's not a puppy, but you were saying he needs to burn off a lot of energy before he comes to these.
He does.
jobs.
We try to give him a bit of a run around
Yeah.
in the morning before he does his sessions.
Yeah, and then when he's calm, he's reading, being read to by the kids. He's getting up and having an explore right now.
He's having an explore.
So he needs a bit of exercise, and he's also a bit food motivated, I heard, much
He's
like myself.
Very food motivated, yes, indeed. He will steal at any opportunity he can get.
Oh, so you've got to hide the school lunch boxes, right?
Yes, yes.
And how do you work that with rewarding Ollie for his work at the program? Do you give a treat every time a child reads a book, or?
No. So Ollie has to wait for the entire session to be finished. Sit down, Ollie. Good boy. He has to wait for his whole session to be finished,
Yeah.
and then when we go out to the car, he gets his treat reward.
And is that for any particular reason that you like to run it that way?
I like to do it that way so that then he's actually focused on the children and on the session rather than being focused on his reward.
Waiting for that
Yes,
treat.
yes.
Well, I think he's ready to get ready right now. Well, thanks so much, Kylie. That's
okay.
great.
Thanks for having me.
From Kylie and Ollie to Jeff and Wally.
Hello, I'm Jeff from Story Dogs, and this is Wally. He's come to help you and help me read this book to you. Do you think you enjoy doing that? Yeah. And what do you think the book's called? Give me space.
Well, I'm here with Jeff, and Jeff, this little sleepy guy, is Wally.
Yes, he's our little cavvy.
He's very small, isn't he?
He is
He's
tiny.
a little guy, but he's not a puppy.
No, he's 3 years old. Surprise.
Yep.
Everybody thinks he's a puppy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone pulls him up wherever we go. He's great.
And he's relatively new to this program.
Yes, yeah, we started at Star of the Sea in February, March. Yeah. So going really well. And then we've got a black hole over here. And what else do you think's in the picture? Maybe a telescope? Yeah. What else have we got? Yeah. A bin. Yeah.
What interested you about the Reading Dogs program?
I wanted to do something for the local school because I have 5 grandchildren there.
Wow, okay.
And we're, trying to work out something to do, and I heard about Story Dogs on the radio and inquired from there, and then did a few tests and things and made sure that Wally was okay for the program.
What sort of things were you looking at with Wally?
Well, whether he's calm and,
Yeah.
and he doesn't cause any problems.
Seems
and-
pretty calm.
Yeah, well, I've just retired. I was a pharmacist out at McKellar Centre, and Wally used to come with me to work a couple of days a week. And
Okay, wow, yeah.
He used to be a mascot, and go around and greet some of the patients and sit on their laps and all that sort
So
of stuff.
he's a hard-working dog.
Oh yeah,
Used to working.
Yeah, he loves it. So,
And I guess between 5 grandchildren and all the customers of your pharmacy, he's had a lot of exposure to kids as well.
Yes, yeah, he loves it. Yeah, well, we've got 5 grandchildren at the school, and
Yeah.
we've got 10 in total. So,
Oh,
he's
so
seen-
5 little ones in addition.
Yeah, so
wow.
we've got some other little ones. Yeah, so they all enjoy Wally's company.
Yeah.
And he's really calm with them.
And do you think he enjoys the program as well?
He seems to.
Yeah.
When we arrive at the school, he seems to get pretty excited and enjoys all the kids coming around and patting him. He hates a cuddle.
Oh, yes, you can tell.
But no, he enjoys it.
And was there any particular reason you felt like literacy was an important thing?
Yeah, well, my mum is 90 and she left school at 11.
Wow,
And she
yeah.
can't read or write, which we only found out later.
Yeah.
She had all these strategies that she used to get by. She was very clever.
Yeah.
She's got a really good memory in that.
Yeah, and so she compensated.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you worked this out?
Well, she was 60, so it's 30 years ago. So
Yeah.
I was in my mid-30s.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and just always felt there was something, but never really knew about it. So when we started doing it, I was saying to Mum, because I ring her every day.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I'm going to school, I'm going to do these story dogs, and just to help children read. And she said, oh, I wish that was around when I was at school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a bit of a buzz,
Yeah.
you know.
And how
it's a
magical
good
for her to be seeing her great-grandchildren at this primary school,
Yeah.
having all this support.
Yeah, it's something never had. You know, I struggled with reading when I was at primary school. I was in a class of 50.
Yeah.
And you could sneak through without...
Get lost.
You get totally lost.
Yeah.
I got to high school and, yeah, really struggled. I was lucky that one of the librarians there took me under her wing and encouraged me to read, so it was hard work though. One day, Olna will become an astronaut. She will leave the Earth behind. But for now, she is an astronaut in waiting. You must be this tall to be an astronaut. Have you ever been to those rides where you've got to be a certain height?
Yes.
Isn't that frustrating? Yeah.
So we noticed we saw you run a session with Wally, and Wally did a lot of sleeping through the session.
Oh, yes.
But you and the other volunteers, you have a great way of engaging the children when you read.
Thank you.
Is that for you? Was that kind of instinctive to do that?
Like with the 10 grandchildren,
Yeah.
my wife encourages me to read
Yeah.
a little bit to them,
Yeah.
and she's the power behind it. You know, she's always read to our children and grandchildren, and she's just encouraged me to get involved. So initially, I wasn't big on it, but
A bit shy, maybe?
yeah, a bit
Yeah,
nervous about
yeah.
it. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's just come along.
I guess,
suppose.
do you think maybe having been a child that struggled a bit with reading to start as well, you have a bit of that empathy for
Pretty
the
much,
kids?
yeah. You know, like if they can get a joy out of their reading early, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and what a wonderful way to bring joy to reading,
Oh.
having a little mate here.
What do you think the blue planet was? Well done, everybody. That was a good one, wasn't it? Suspended in space, her beautiful blue home, now shimmering even more brightly than before.
Well, thanks so much.
No worries.
I guess we'll let Wally get on with this busy nap.
Yeah, he's just about passed out.
Yeah, he's had a big day.
He's working hard.
Thanks,
great.
Jeff.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
Before I left for the day, I wanted to know how people at home could support the Story Dogs initiative.
So there's actually 3 ways that you can participate in Story Dogs. The first way, of course, is to become a volunteer with your dog and come along to the schools. The second way is actually the school itself who wants to become and have the program at their school. And the third way is by sponsoring the dog. So it's only $500 a year to sponsor a Story Dog.
Gee, it's
And
not
then-
much, is it, for a
Look,
big
the
impact?
The results are worth it, absolutely
Yeah.
worth it. We get some fantastic results. Their confidence soars, anxiety lowers, and of course their skills improve. So it's worth every cent. And so the best way to do that would be to look on our website, storydogs.org.au.
Fantastic. I might look that up. I'm not sure if my dog is as well behaved as Penny, but
Well, all the dogs are behaviour assessed.
Okay.
So we would let our professional dog trainer make that assessment.
sounds good to me. Well, I've had a great time here at the primary school meeting the little story dogs and their little human friends. This has been Dog Jobs Australia. See you next time.